An absolute jaw-dropping performance from Caitlin Clark, setting a franchise record and scoring a career-high 45 points, including the game winner in the final minute, a true masterpiece in a winning effort over Seattle.
The first ever 40-point 10-assist game in WNBA history. She became the fastest player in WNBA history to 200 three-pointers made. Fourth most point assist double-doubles in WNBA history. This one didn't get read, but passes Tully for fifth most threes in franchise history.
Oh, sorry, Toll.
KK, third most offensive rebounds in a single game in franchise history. And Caitlin and Kelsey combined for the most points in franchise history at 75 points between the two of them. So lots of fun stats tonight. So with that, I will turn it over to Tony.
Caitlin, how did this game feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some nights, like, you know, you have it, and, like, even before the ball tips, and I felt like it was going to be one of those for me, obviously, like, struggled a little bit getting back into the groove after missing a couple weeks. So, you know, thought this was like a good opportunity for me to come out and be aggressive early. And also I knew my team needed that, especially with AB out. So like I knew that I had to step up to, you know, the challenge, and, you know, was able to get to the free throw line a lot. It's easy to see the ball go through. Was able to draw some fouls, and obviously our defense was pretty embarrassing, but you got to give us credit for the way we were able to fight. I think we were down 8 with 4 minutes to go, or 6 with 4 minutes to go, something like that. And we always just kept finding a way, and just proud of our group. And obviously a lot of people stepped up in AB's absence, and obviously KK, you know, was incredible tonight too. You
said you could tell before the game started. Was there a moment or point in time where that happened? Did a specific thing happen? How did that feeling come for you?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like you just have to believe you're going to have those type of nights, and you have to visualize having those type of nights. And I feel like that's what I did. And you know, it's not always going to go your way. Sometimes there's going to be, you know, a stretch where you're, you know, the ball's not going through the rim, and you can't get discouraged. And I know all the time in the work that I've put in, and people believe in me, and more than anything, I believe in myself. And, you know, you just got to dig your feet in a little bit, and, you know, when it's not going your way, nobody cares. Like, find a way to make it better and find a way to help your team win and make this team better. And I feel like that's what I always try to do.
You're kind of scrambling a little bit as the shot clock's kind of falling down. They got a deflection, circled back towards half court and kind of went up. Can you take us through that? I think that was your 41st point to kind of go ahead that whole play.
Yeah, obviously we had the ball with the game tied, and they kind of blew up our ATO. Like, they played good defense and, you know, got a good tip on the ball, and I was able to chase it down and then get the deflection, which I don't know if I got her on the arm or if it was clean, but I'm not sure the ref was in a position to make the call. I think it was pretty clean. I don't know, but just tried to make a good play on the ball. And then obviously coming back down, I was trying to get the ref to inbound it faster. Like, I wanted to play fast. I didn't want them to set their defense. And then obviously, like, I think that's almost an easier situation for myself, playing kind of in transition rather than having to diagram something on the sideline ATO-wise, where, you know, I can, like, just kind of little freestyle it a little bit more. And that's kind of what I did. And you know, she made a couple good plays on the ball, got a couple deflections, then I kind of got her out of position a little bit, and then was able to step back to my left, and it went in, so that was nice.
Caitlin, I know you touched on it a little bit there, but the defensive strip, talk a lot about your defense throughout your career. It's always something that's going to be a point of emphasis for other teams. So to be a defensive stopper in that moment, how did that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had 4 steals, 2 blocks. It's pretty rare, pretty nice. I still feel like I could have, you know, played a little bit better, especially in the first half. Like, they kind of opened up my hips a good amount and were able to get downhill. And they have fast guards. Their guards are really, really good. And then obviously their posts are great too. But, you know, I thought we could have been a little bit better helping everybody out, you know, whether that was me rotating on drives, no matter what it was. Like, we didn't always have that rotation. Like, you know, they're good players, and they have a really good young core. Like, they're going to be a team to watch in the next couple of years. You know, they're a difficult matchup, especially when, you know, AB's out. And I think this also shows, like, how good of a defender AB is and how good of an anchor she is for us on defense and her communication. You know, obviously a lot of people stepped up in her absence tonight, but, like, she really dominates that end for us, and she's just always in the right position. She always knows the right coverage, and she cleans up the glass really well. So, but yeah, I mean, I just tried to make some plays on the ball there at the end, came up with a couple steals, and, you know, the only time our defense was good was late in the fourth quarter, and I guess that's when you need it, so we'll take it.
And then one quick follow-up. KK, for those who are not teammates of Caitlin, what does it feel like to watch her be sort of this orchestrator of crazy moments?
Just greatness right here, you know what I mean? Man, she does some crazy stuff out there on the court, man. You know, of course, her signature logo threes, the way she can get to her shots, and just being able to, you know, set her screens and get her open. You know, we trust her so much here on the Fever, and I mean, she's just a great player overall. You know, she's always, you know, talking to me, making sure, you know, hey, come set me a screen, you know, but I'm willing to do whatever I can for her, you know, on the court, and just great player overall.
Caitlin, obviously, 45 point night's always nice, but considering the injuries and kind of struggling to find a rhythm, just in that aspect, how nice was it to find your rhythm, obviously, tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was aggressive. Like, you know, I think I even started like maybe 2 for 5 from the field and, you know, didn't get discouraged, like just kept attacking, taking what the defense gave me. You know, like I said, I think, especially in the second quarter, like I really got to the free throw line and really got them in the air, used my body well, and then you just make plays down the stretch and you get free throw opportunities down the stretch, and those are the ones you have to make. And, you know, I still feel like I can play better. I think the thing I'm most proud of, I think all 4 of my turnovers were in the first half, so I really took care of the ball in the second half, and, you know, that was big for us. I think we had, I don't know how many turnovers we had at halftime, but, you know, we took care of it there and didn't give them extra possessions, so proud of that for myself. But, you know, it's like, it's one of the hardest things coming back from injury and being out of the groove and, you know, having time off. And, you know, you just have to kind of continue to believe in yourself and believe in the work you put in. And, you know, like I said, this is great, but we have another really difficult test tomorrow, so you got to get ready for that.
KK, just over these past few games, seems like things have really been clicking and falling into place for you. What's been changing? What's been working for you here that allowed you to earn this start tonight?
Just putting the work in. Bless you, see. Bless you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Just putting the work in, you know, just being consistent, you know, having that confidence. You know, my teammates and my coaches, they believe in me, so I also have to believe in myself. And, you know, like, that just shows, like, I've been putting the work in, being a great player, being a good teammate overall, and just having that confidence, you know. That consistency has been showing, and I just want to keep it going.
For both of you, too, the performance side of Monique Billings, she had a big block there, scored the game-tying basket. Just what did you see from her out there?
Yeah, I mean, she was great. She stepped up and, you know, she made great plays and she got big rebounds for us. Just really proud of her. You know, it's a really difficult matchup. Their 2 young posts are really, really good. And the way that Fam can shoot the ball and then Malunga on the inside is, you know, a real challenge, and she stepped up to it, and so did KK. So just really proud of her. I thought she was great tonight as well.
Caitlin, for KK's first career start, what is it like to see the progress and growth of her as a teammate, especially against the Storm's big bigs?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough first start. Like, they're really good. They're long. They're athletic. They're fast. They score in transition. And she stepped up to the challenge, but I thought, like, she kind of touched on it. Like, she's put in the work. Like, she's in the gym. She wants to get better. She's, you know, willing to learn. She works with Rob, our player development, all the time. So just really proud of her, like, you know, and the confidence she now has in herself and then everybody has in her. You know, she can go out there and make plays. She's probably the most athletic player I've ever played with and one of the most athletic players I've ever seen. And it's fun to kind of see that come to light, and everybody knows what she's capable of, and she's really just scratching the surface. So can't wait to see where it takes her.
Appreciate that.
Caitlin, this might be a dumb question, so forgive me, but minutes restriction the last couple of nights, when you got to 25 tonight, was there any conversation about coming out of that game, or were you kind of like, don't even come near me?
Steph knows better than that. Trainers know better than that. They would get an earful. But I told Steph at halftime, like, I felt really good, and I didn't want to lose this game, and, you know, hopefully I'm going to do everything I can tonight to take care of my body, and then we get back out at it tomorrow. But like I said, like, I can trust all the work that I've put in on my body, and, you know, I've spent a ton of time on it, and I trust the people around me that have really helped me, and, you know, I always find confidence in that. So I know I'm doing all the right things, and there was no way I was ever coming out of the game in the fourth quarter. It didn't matter. I would play with one leg.
Steph, what's it like to just see a Caitlin game like that?
It's incredible. I mean, it's special. You know, she does things that we haven't seen. She had a lot of bounce early. You know, you could tell she was feeling better. She was feeling good, and, you know, in the moment, sometimes it's surreal to see. And, you know, heck, you look down at the stat sheet, and I'm looking at different numbers. I look down at the stat sheet at the end of the game, and it's like, holy shit, 45 and 10. I mean, just incredible. Just absolutely incredible performance.
Is there a point in a game like that where you kind of throw out the game plan and say, okay, do your thing, here's the ball?
No, I mean, it's, like how you get her, how she gets her shots is always part of the game plan. I think the frequency, with which she's able to get them, I feel like she did a great job today of taking what they gave her, right? So early in the game, she was attacking the rim. She's getting to the free throw line. That loosens the defense up. So late in the game, they're going to be loose. They're going to be on her heels, and that's when she gets those incredible threes. And so I just think that when she's really in a flow, I mean, reads the game as good, if not, better than anybody. I think she's grown into taking what the defense gives her. And we always know she has the ability to make big shots, and she did all of that tonight.
Steph, I know you talked about the shot making and the play making, but maybe the play of the game was her block/steal on Flau'jae.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to just see Caitlin lock in that moment and then obviously respond on the other end and with the game go-ahead three?
It was huge. I mean, that was a heck of a defensive play. Not just to get a hand on it and strip it, but then to maintain our possession. It was big. I thought there were like 3 defensive possessions that she had, on that end of the floor in that last 4 minutes that were big time for us. And I think her confidence is growing on that end of the floor. She shows that she's plenty capable, and she's able to make momentum changing plays, and that was another one of them.
Given the kind of injuries Caitlin's dealt with lately and struggling to kind of find that rhythm, how important do you think this game was for her to get back in the groove like that?
I think it's really important. I think it's really important to not just see the ball go through the net. I mean, making shots is one thing, but to play in the flow that she played with. I thought her ability to hit her teammates on time, on target. I thought her reads at all 3 levels were really good. She played at her pace. She didn't get rushed. It finally, all came together. And again, it's tough when you're coming back from injury. Your body feels different. Mentally, you want it to happen so badly. Sometimes you second guess yourself, and that's part of it. Rhythm, timing, all the things that happen when you haven't played for a little while. So it was huge. It was big time for her and for us.
You guys are still down 8, like under 6 minutes to go. What was kind of the conversation that you were talking about, and what was the kind of faith that you guys would be able to put together a run, especially kind of after a rough third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing was we got to decide to play defense. We got to decide to play defense. It reminded me a little bit of our game in Phoenix, where there was a lot of shot making going on, and at some point you got to decide to play defense. And so it was just about our defensive energy. We have a drill that we call cutthroat that we do on the defensive end of the floor, and it's like we got to have cutthroat mentality right now. We got to get stops. I thought our fourth quarter defense was really good. And at this point, you just have to find a way. And our team found a way. We made big plays down there. I thought Mo's defense was really good down the stretch. KK's hustle play was the play of the game. I mean, getting on the floor after that loose ball and saving the possession, big time. I'm so proud of her too. I mean, she was ready. She came in and she did exactly what we needed her to do.
Stephanie Recorder here. So KK had her first game tonight starting, and it seems like she played very exceptionally well in defense tonight versus bigs like, Dominique and Awa. What does that say to her being a versatile player and just her player growth coming up?
Yeah, I mean, she's continued to grow. I mean, the thing about KK is that, she's a different player today than she was when we drafted her. She's a different player today than she was in February, when we saw her down at Unrivaled. I really think she's just scratching the surface of what her ability is going to be in this league. Obviously, she has incredible athleticism. She has really learned how to play on the perimeter and be a great screener and cutter. Her ability to be a switchable defender and her versatility allows us to do that with her. And her confidence on the offensive end of the floor is growing as well. So, I think she's just scratching the surface. She's got a tremendous amount of upside, and I think every day she's gaining more and more confidence.
Steph Caitlin told us pregame she felt like a night like this was possible for her with how she was feeling. Did you notice anything in her disposition, her prep, that made you feel like she looked a little different?
She seemed lighter. I mean, she seemed lighter. She seemed positive. She seemed like she was bouncy. You know, I think she felt good. I think every day we've seen a little bit more of it. You know, and then the opportunity to just get out there and, like I said, early in the game, get to the free throw line, get some easy ones, and you can kind of see. I thought her balance was outstanding, and being able to stay on balance and stay in her shot. You know, and she's just continuing to get better, get stronger.
Monique Billings has had some big plays offensively for you guys, had the game-tying basket too, and then the block that she had. Just what did you see from her tonight?
Yeah, Mo was great. She was her defense was exceptional. I mean, look, between Dom Malonga and Awa Pham, I mean, they're special, right? They're really special. And I thought Mo did a great job on the defensive end. She did an outstanding job of getting out of her screens, and C found her. You know, she put a lot of pressure on the rim. You know, and that's what we got to continue to have for Mo. I thought her energy was great. I thought her leadership was great. And I thought C was able to find her on time. And she finished place at the rim.
And then defensively down the stretch, I mean, it was a night and day difference. I think it's probably fair to say just what started clicking, what started working there for you guys on that end of the floor?
It's a good question. If I knew, I'd probably bottle that up. You know, I mean, look, part of defense is a mentality. Part of it's a mentality. And, you know, I think we held them to 8 of 22 in the fourth quarter. You know, it's something that you got to continue to grow into, right? Having it all the time. We let them get confidence. They made some shots, and they made some tough shots. And, you know, give them a ton of credit. And then down the stretch, I thought our defense, we just took it to another level. We just got to find that level more consistently.
Clark also becomes the first player in league history to have at least 40 points and 10 assists in the same game. 45 points in 29 minutes of action. A truly historic night here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where the Fever will be back in action Saturday night to take on the Liberty at 8 o'clock. Covering the Fever for 13 Sports, I'm Eli Gain.